The new Hellswarm hole, how should you build it? Hey everyone, Derpy here, back with another Battle Pirates video, and I'm going to show you two different designs for a Hellswarm hole, as well as walking you through the process so you can understand. Before I start, just a quick disclaimer, I am not the top PvP player out there. If anyone else wants to make a video and showing their build with this thing, I'm more than happy for them to do that. Well, I'm just going to be showing you my build, which should be working fairly well and has been working fairly well for the one ship I have built so far. Let's go ahead and get started. The first thing you need to know about the Hellswarm is that it has a built-in UAV under the special abilities. This is a very powerful UAV and deals radioactive damage. That's not listed on the cap here, but note that radioactive damage cannot be buffed. You can't add it in a special that increases radioactive damage. It doesn't work. Only building damage and UAV specials will actually increase the damage of the built-in UAV. That's something I learned from Battle Pirates Discord, actually relearned from Battle Pirates Discord. Anyway, as far as a build, there are a couple specials you want to have on no matter what. One of these is the limited onslaught engine, which is a great PvP engine and adds in combat speed, turn speed. It's fantastic. Also adds a little bit of evade. If you don't have this, you can go with something else really basic like Speed System 6. The next special you want here is going to be something either you can choose Agility System 4 or, and what I actually prefer and most people I believe are going for, is the Ecm Dampener. Now, Agility System 4 gives more evade, but this one gives tactical field resistance, which is a very important special against all the tac fields that people have in their bases. Now, with most of these other specials, you're just going to be trying to increase damage and help your ship survive longer. One of these is Conquest Battery, which increases your building damage by 80%, so it works with both a mortar build and a UAV build, as well as adds some turn speed, some turret defense, some other fun stuff like that. The next thing you're going to want to do here is, now you have to almost decide what build you're going for. With each of them, you're going to want to put on Siege Targeting 4, which increases building damage by a lot. And at this point, you have to decide if you want to go for a UAV build or a mortar build. If you're going for a mortar build, I'm going to recommend the same thing, the same special we use on our Warhounds, which is Desolation Warheads. This is going to increase projectile speed, explosive damage, splash, etc. It's really good for mortars. Didn't quite equip here, let's see. Those are weapons. So Desolation Warhead, really great one. If you don't have this, you can use something like High Explosive Shells 4 instead. And then for the last special on your mortar build, you want to either go for something like Countermeasure Loaders 4 or for CMCR Reloader, which has explosive reload. Those are two really good options. Just notice that if you go for the Countermeasure Loaders 4, you only add about 50% mortar reload, as opposed to the CMCR Reloader, where you actually add 85%. The CMCX Reloader, where you add CMXM reload or something like this, where you add more, you add 90% mortar reload. So you have the CMXM reloader, or you have the Countermeasure Loaders 4. The Countermeasure Loaders 4 add much less weight, so you can actually equip all your armors, whereas the CMXM reloader adds significantly more weight, so you can't add all your armors. Let's just go for Countermeasure Loaders 4. As far as weapons, the choice here is pretty obvious for the mortar build. You want to use the Salammader Mortar. That's pretty much the only choice. Just put 3 of those on there. And as far as armors, the really important one is you go for D6 TA, which adds tactical field resistance. It's a great thing, 50% tactical field resistance. For these other 2 armors, you're going to want to go for a plate that can help add extra deflection for whatever people are actually using in the strong meta. So with a base that has a lot of farsight, you're going to want to go for something ballistic, which with a base that has a bunch of radioactive, you want to go for radioactive plate, for example. You can't always decide on which ones you want to go for, and it's going to depend on how the meta shifts and how base defense shifts over time. I would put on maybe a radioactive plate and a ballistic plate, and that's going to be decent in many bases, although there's no one build that can get into every single base. But for this, you just have to put on 2 of the plate 8 armors. So let's just pick we put on one of them, now let's put on ballistic plate. We already had radioactive. This is a decent build and will work fairly well for you and as a mortar build, but it's not the strongest one. And by the way, I will leave a hash code for this and the next build down in the comments. The next build I'm going to show you is a UAV build. For this one, you're going to clear Countermeasure Loaders 4, and you're going to clear the Desolation Warhead special. You're not going to buff the mortars at all, you're going to buff the inbuilt UAV. For this, you're going to want to go with a special that came with Skyfires. It's that old of a special, so I hope you still have it. It's the UAV targeting circuitry right here, which increases UAV damage as well as projectile speed, adds some chain count, and the chaining range doesn't do anything because the built-in UAV already has a chaining range of 100. This last special here, you can go with something else. I'm going to recommend people go with something like UAV Upgrade, which adds one more to the chain count here. That's about the only thing that's decent there. Although I suppose if you wanted to, you could go for something else to buff the mortars up again. Although I'm not quite sure how that would work. And the armors don't really matter, they can stay the same. Now some people are saying you should change out your mortars for something else that has more projectiles so that the enemy countermeasures are wasted on your mortars instead of the UAVs. If you want to go for a different mortar, great, but this is the build that I'll be leaving a hash code to down in the description. Currently, the UAV build is very, very powerful, and if you watch one of my latest base defense videos, you would know that. So, the UAV, it's a potential that the UAV is nerfed later. I have absolutely zero control or knowledge about that other than what I know from just reading forums and Discord that people are complaining about it. But it is a potential if you go for the UAV build that is nerfed a little bit. So just be aware of that. And if you're starting to build them now and you're just getting them from pillage, maybe just go for a build that's more of a half shell build where you just have the 3 mortars, 1 armor, and the specials that are the same on all of the ships. And from this point, you can decide if you want to go for the UAV version or the mortar version when it's actually time to build that. And just a quick note, always build a blank hull first, which is like a 3-day build time, because refitting weapons on is a lot cheaper, and you can also rank them up after raid. So I hope this video helped. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, if I did something that you wouldn't, if I put a special on that you would swap out, let me know that. And as always, this is Derpy, signing out, helping you be a better pirate.